Whether you've played card games like Go Fish, Crazy Eights, or Rummy, or entertained your friends with card magic, nearly everyone has used a deck of cards. Yet most people probably aren't aware that there's a lot more to these trusty pasteboards than meets the eye. Here's a few interesting facts about playing cards you probably didn't know. Playing cards have a long history that is believed to have originated in China during the era of the Tang Dynasty in the 9th century. At that time, there were only 32 cards in a deck instead of the standard 52 or 54 with jokers. It's believed that playing cards were originally used for dice games or other popular games like Mahjong. More than 1,000 years later, and a deck of cards can be found in nearly every household. And despite rapid advances in technology and we have a tiny computer in our pockets at all times, many people still use these 52 little pieces of paper to play card games or perform magic tricks. Some people even feel that technology may have actually boosted the popularity of playing cards by reinventing classic games like Solitaire or inventing new ones like Balatro. I love that game. I just one more go. No, or giving degenerate card players a chance to test their luck by playing poker or blackjack on online casinos. One of the most interesting facts about playing cards is undoubtedly its uncanny connections to a calendar year. While some scholars believe that this is pure coincidence, others think that the standard deck of cards was intentionally crafted to symbolize a year of our lives. Well, let's decide ourselves. The red and black colors of the suits are believed to represent day and night. The 4 suits symbolize the 4 seasons: spring, summer, fall, and winter. Within each suit is 13 values, ace through king, just like there are roughly 13 lunar cycles in a year or 13 weeks in a quarter. It's falling apart, but it's still there. There are 12 court cards in a deck of cards and 12 months in a year. And just like there are 52 weeks in a year, there are 52 cards in a deck. Here's where it gets crazy though. If you add up all the cards in deck, starting with ace as 1 and the king as 13, you'll get 364. Add in one of the jokers and that's 365, add in the other joker and you have a leap year. The calendar connection is just one of the many amazing mathematical properties hidden within a deck of cards. For example, there are more possible ways to shuffle a deck of cards than there are atoms that make up all of the earth. The math behind that is actually pretty easy to understand. It's 52 factorial. 52 times 51 times 50, and so on all the way down to times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. If you do the math, you'll end up with an 8 followed by 67 zeros. To put this into perspective, every time you pick up a shuffled deck of cards, it's almost guaranteed that the exact order of the playing cards in your hands is one that has never existed before. In fact, you could change the arrangement of the cards every second and it would still take you over 1,000,000 years to get to all the combinations. Speaking of shuffles, if you perform 8 perfect FARO out shuffles, that's a special shuffle where all the cards are interwoven together one at a time and the original top and bottom card remain in place, we'll put it on the screen. The deck will return to the order it started in. Remember, 8 perfect FAROs, the deck will return to the order it started in. The images found on most modern decks of cards can be attributed to French playing card creators in the 15th century. These card makers were the first to split a deck into red and black colors and implement the recognizable clubs, hearts, spades, and diamond suits. Bonus fun fact: prior to these modern suits, playing cards used to have swords, clubs, cups, and coin suits that were most likely inspired by tarot cards. The French also modeled the court cards after noteworthy figures from history. Julius Caesar was the king of diamonds, Charlemagne was the king of hearts, King David from the Holy Bible was the king of spades, and Alexander the Great was the king of clubs. Contrary to popular belief, the Queen of Hearts is not supposed to be Queen Elizabeth I. Despite their striking resemblance, this design was crafted long before Elizabeth's birth in 1533. All of the queens actually have ancient inspiration, with the Queen of Hearts being based on a biblical figure named Judith. British card makers also began to use these same illustrations and played a key role in their mainstream popularity. However, at one point, they also followed a variation known as the British rule. This special rule meant that the rankings of the king and queen in card games were swapped based on the monarch who was ruling England at the time. Have you ever noticed that the ace of spades always seems to have a slightly different design than the rest of the playing cards? There's actually some historical significance behind this. See, around the turn of the 18th century, the ruling classes in France and England began cashing in on the surging popularity of playing cards by placing a tax on every deck of cards produced. To prove the tax was paid, each ace of spades would need to receive a special stamp. In 1828, the English took this a step further by making manufacturers purchase a special ace of spades and use it in their deck. These unique cards would generally be printed with lavish designs in the manufacturer's name, a tradition that continues to this day. Bonus fun fact: in an attempt to evade taxes, many would try to play card games without an ace of spades, eventually giving life to the popular phrase, not playing with a full deck, and the popular game, euchre. During World War II, an unlikely partnership was formed between American and British intelligence agencies and the United States Playing Card Company. Looking for deceptive ways to rescue Allied prisoners of war from German camps, they turned to the playing card giant for help developing a special map deck. These amazing playing cards had top secret escape routes within their paper layers. By soaking the wet cards in water and peeling apart these layers, American and British prisoners could uncover special maps highlighting the best path to safety. These decks of cards were a closely guarded secret for years, even after the war ended. Nobody truly knows how many were ever produced, and there's believed to be only one surviving original map deck in a private collection. Beyond just lasting longer than paper playing cards, plastic playing cards are also significantly more difficult to mark or crease. Therefore, most casinos around the world will use 100% plastic playing cards for poker or other card games to prevent cheating. Bonus fun fact: when a deck of cards is retired from play, a casino will cancel the playing cards by clipping their corners, punching holes through them, or adding some other immediately noticeable marking. This is done to prevent the cards from being snuck back into an active game, but you, a consumer, can purchase them at the casino gift shop for a low price of usually only $1. Additionally, paper playing cards aren't just a piece of paper. There's actually 2 or 3 layers of paper stuck together with a special glue. Beyond serving as an adhesive, this glue core ensures the cards are opaque when held up to light, an especially important feature for card games. If you'd like to learn to cheat at cards or learn some really cool magic tricks, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. That's free. Alternatively, you could join the channel membership or check out my online store. Have a fantastic day, and thank you very much for watching this one.